Right, I'm back again, and for me this has been a very long time since I actually touched this app. Today I wanted to make a script synchronized loader, so the scripts wouldn't have a race condition, essentially. But before I go through all of that, I just want to say that I've went through and changed some of the documentation elements, and I've actually added some in. And the main differences is going to be on the actor. So if we go down and run first, it used to be lowercase run, so now that's upgraded. And I've also changed the mouse down cast. I've changed that from UI raycast or something like that, or yeah, something like UI down or something. So let's start with this script synchronizer, and I've just got to remember for script synchronous function. I'll just save this as script synchronizer .js. So the way I'm going to do this is going to have it sort of like an event system. So when you send information to the event, so you could send all the files you want to load, it would just go through the list and knock off each one of the events. So that event list lists equal nothing equal an array. Then I want to go function add script loader, and for this script loader I'm going to have a tag name. We're going to have a list of files. We're going to have, okay, let's just leave it at that for now. So for this event list, we're just going to go I'm just wondering, do I want it to be, I think I just want it to be static. So we're just going to convert it all to a static, like so. Event list dot push, and then we've got to put in our push data, which is going to be in these brackets. So our tag, our files, and we've got to put a function in here as well. We haven't got to actually assign the function, we've got to put it as a callback. On done will be good enough, which is one of the things that we got to also add in here. And we can just put in all of these files, all of these properties respectively. So now that should get all added into the event list. So now we're going to go and fire the list itself. I'm going to actually put in the tag name as the run. And how is this going to work now? This is an idea I had a while back, but I can't exactly remember how I was going to do it. So we've got to do a create. So we've got to create an object and we've got to attach it to the actual element itself, which means I need to have the container. Loader container, but I don't need the data because the data would be stored in the event list. So I just need to go for let I equals 0, I is less than event list.length I plus plus. Now if the event list I equals, well, not event list.I, it's event list I dot tag equals the tag that we've added in. Then I'm going to do this, but we actually need to know the script. Because we've got all the list of files in this property, we need to use this instead of data files. So let's go for no, this should be fine. We're going to do it one at a time. So event list.I then we'll just get the files 0, and then we've got to do the on shift no, it's just shift, and that should give us the first file, and then we can do an if files.length is equal to 0. Then we're going to do this on done as a callback. I'm just going to fire it. But this is not the only thing that we have to do. So we've got the script object and we've got this attribute. I can just do this. And we're going to do on load. I'm going to remove the end of this and replace it with the script loader, the synchronizer, script synchronizer, and I'm going to do run loader with this should be okay. I'm going to put in the tag itself. We can use either of one of them because they're the same. And I might also make an appender, but I'll just think about it for a little bit. Okay, we're going to do this slightly differently. So if files.length is 0, then we're going to do just the onload. If it's not 0, then it's obviously going to be more because it's an array. We're going to actually load one of the scripts. So now this is going to be very difficult to isolate whether or not this is actually working or not. But for this as well, the add script loader, I need to make sure by doing all this again that if the event list does not contain a tag, then we're going to replace it. If it's not, and if it exists already, we're just going to leave it. So we can essentially append to it just by using the add script loader if we choose to add to it at a later date. So now we've got this event I actually this should be outside of the for loop. It should be inside. I'm just going to turn files dot push list of files, and that should be done. And the benefit of doing this is, I think we did at one point do the starting screen on finish loader. So instead of doing this loader call, or I think we might have actually put in a file to be loaded, we can get rid of this and just put it on the onDone event. So also is going to neaten everything up here, so we can do the files I. So I'm just going to comment this out for a little while. In fact, we can comment out all of these for a little while. Except for this scene name, because this is not dependent on anything. And we can use the script synchronizer dot add script loader. Now we can add the tag in, which would be in this case. I'm just going to put default files. I'm going to put the list as the actual files themselves. We don't need the and we're not actually going to have a callback on this. Right, we're going to have a anonymous callback. And we're going to do this all again, but we're going to do it for the properties. Property files, and it's just properties this time. And check it's opened and it's closed. And UI files. I know this looks a little messier It should do the same thing, but it should also do it a bit more efficiently. Run load. You know what, I might even do the call on scene just here as well. And this is for the game client, which means I just need to go into the game client.html and just add this synchronizer at the top, and then we can see if it works or not. Just copy it, and the script synchronizer will go here. Right, I just need to change one thing. I also need to do a run down here. And I can do, hopefully just this will work. Run loader. As soon as that's done, I should be able to once we've loaded it, we can run this straight away. Files and UI files. Run loader. Right. Let's boot up the engine and see if this works. This is reference script synchronizer is not defined. Okay. Synchronizer. Oh, it's core slash. Invalid shorthand property at line 4. That's because it's a colon. Event list is not defined because it's probably because it's supposed to be. I've used this a lot because it's a static. Let's just do this. Replace with only a couple that I need to remove. This one and this one. Tag is not defined at line 10. It's tag name here. Property files is not defined at line 1. Load. So let's have a look at the script synchronizer event. It contains 2 and event list should have property files does exist. Question is, did I should have data properties? Does it have anything in the files? So it definitely has a property. Interesting. We can actually have a look at how many it's actually added. It's not all that's in the script container. Everything else has been loaded normally, except for this one. Ah, okay. You can see it. So it's because we didn't have any anything to convert this tag to a string. It was just appearing as just a raw raw data. It wasn't actually being interpreted as a string. So if we run this now, it should hopefully. Oh, we got something. What's the error? Concept to defined. We can have a look at for some reason it's saying this one is undefined. Let's look at sources. The somehow there's still a race condition in this, which means I either have left in the core final launch. That's still a file. That's why it's still running. We're going to core. Can we do final launch? And let's just comment this out. And if I do this again, it should load in order. It's done everything except for load the actual scene, which was the core.launch. Let's go to the script synchronizer and just add this in. Well, not the script synchronizer, add this into the Let's see what it does. Oh, we don't need this anymore. We can save it and let's run it again. On court, user interface. Was it doing something particular when it loaded these? No. So I wasn't going completely mad. It just seems that I also use this to load from something else, which is just the core load instead of the game load. If I remember right, that one's pointing at the actual core files and one's pointing at the game data files. So that's easy because all we need to do now is just set up one of these. I'll just take all of it, and we just place it up here. And this time we put core in the front, core default load, and the last one just needs to be core. We just need to run the core. Now, what do we do on the once it's finished? We're just going to do the whole core game data side of it. I think that's everything. And let's just set this up so it looks like it actually fits in the actual coding, because that's where it actually fits. So I'm going to just load the core files, which we're going to do, which we've done, and then we're just going to do the game data files afterwards. And if we've saved that, then we run this, shouldn't get a problem. Is not defined either. Just check something else. These should have been loaded as well. Oh, it's still doing this, that's why. I just need to comment this out. Right, it should work now. Now I'll comment to change. So right now we've got everything is loading with the script loader. So I'll see. Why is it coming back with this SRC without anything on the files, unless there's something missing in the actual file itself? Which means I need to have a look at the manifest file. No, there's nothing in there. It's missing, and there shouldn't be anything missing from the data file either. Data. That looks fine. So why is this going to the run loader? Seems to be creating, unless I've set this up wrong, which means 1 equals 0 and then done. Otherwise we pop. Let's do this another way and just get let call script. So current script I'm going to make it equal to the unshift, so we've got a reference to it. Then we're going to actually put the actual reference to the script into the script the set attribute area, and now this should work. Script 2 is not defined. Script 2 is not defined. Right. I'd like to know where it's actually setting up all these scripts. Let's get rid of this. There we go. Now we've got a script synchronizer. Now all I've got to do is put this into the game data, or the game editor. And this does not. To make this easier on myself, I'm actually going to load the editor itself. And let's just load something. We should have a script container somewhere. It's again one of these. I don't know what's wrong with my voice, but it seems like I can't talk at the moment. Cool, and then we're just going to replace this end with whatever we need. It's just the synchronizer. Got JS, which means now it should load without it anyway. Script synchronizer here, yeah. So it is loading in. Now what I've got to do is update the editor loader. Oh, this is the gaming. Now I have to be careful because these are just very slightly different, because this has a prefix. Although yeah. I was going to say, do I need this actual system? Or actually do. So I'm going to quickly have to go through and set this to equal the sum of these two, or the concatenation of these two. And again, I've got to do this with the rest of them. Actually, just copy equals this plus this, and at the end. So now that should all be done. We just gut this, and we can also gut this one here. We've got a copy of it in the loader at the moment anyway. And now all I've got to do is add this synchronization system in. Basically based on the loader. Doing this in a very strange way. This one needs to be done needs to be done here, and these need to be done on the resolution, or the, I forget what it actually is, response. And let's just get rid of this just to make it a little neater. Now it should work exactly the same way as the other one. So let's see if this does work. No, something's broken. 32. Show me the file I'm working on. It's a load of 32. Right, I had a conversion system which I haven't got. I just need the converter. Don't think I should need this one either. And let's just run this. Data has already been declared. Let's just it should be done on response anyway to the undone. So now that should be fine. Cannot access data before it's initially. 31. Data has already been declared at 45. Okay. Load is not defined at 35. Hold on, what did it say? I think it's because of this. Well, it should be okay. Looks like it still can parse scenes, it just looks like default 4 is a bit broken, and default 3. Yeah. So maybe they were set up afterwards, after I changed something. That will be in game client, game data, scenes. Just take the, which one is it? Default 4 and default 3. Just get rid of that. Let's just make sure I can change something. At some point I need to finish these off. Save it as default copy 2. Let's load. Control 1 is not defined. Right, there's still a race condition here somehow. It's a bit disconcerting. And this is editor server. So for the most part it works. I'm just going to have a little look into how actually what the error is, because it's running off something that I built a few months ago. Because I haven't touched this in a month or two. I need to go over this and find out exactly what the problem is.